white people, we is here today. Yeah, we talking about uh, uh, oh man.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, I guess the joke is on all of us and everything. We're not going to explain the joke to you guys and stuff, but it's
I know.
it's hilarious.
Well, the joke is on us because what they call them, 47, is on the plane going to Asia.
Yep.
He'd already met the prime minister of China or president.
No, he met the low man on the totem pole. He ain't met Zhao. He ain't met Zhao yet. Zhao ain't gonna
No,
meet him.
you
He
don't
ain't
think
gonna
he's
meet
gonna meet
Zhao.
him?
He ain't gonna meet Zhao. Ain't gonna meet him. Not until they get ready to sign a fucking agreement. Zhao is not gonna show up. He gonna send his people there with him. Trust me, Zhao Jinping is not showing up until he gets his shit right because he's pissed off because of how United States been treating him. And every time they have a fucking agreement, a proposed agreement, Trump always breaks the shit. So he ain't showing up. He's not showing up until they have something. And that that nigga is getting ready to go to North Korea.
Yep.
He said he want to go up there and meet them. As soon as he does that, he done created a fucking divide between him and South Korea. He planned on trying to get South Korea to come back and invest in our country. That was a wrong move. That was the wrong move because their tension between North and South Korea, man, it done got up real high.
Oh yeah.
Anybody anybody said anything, but it has. They don't like each other.
Well, South Korea is a, I guess the lack of a better word, juggernaut, man. They are entrepreneurs, man.
Yep,
They are people who know how to make money
yep,
and make products,
yep.
and you got to give it to them. So
That TSMC plant that I was telling you about that they got going on in Arizona belongs to South Korea.
mm,
That chip manufacturing plant. It's in that they got it down there. They have one in South Korea also. Yep. So I don't know
they
if he's gonna be
educate
able.
their people.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be able to do anything over there, Ted. Create any kind of thing he want to do because he just shit and stepped in it right here. But as soon as he woke up in the morning and said he not negotiating with Canada anymore. You think
He's
these
shitting on
people?
everybody, man. He's shitting on everybody.
He's shitting on these people, man. How you gonna get people to do stuff and you keep shitting on them? And with that thing, and Canada, the prime minister of Canada, he had it over there too. You're gonna be sitting down at the same table with that motherfucker. Ain't no, he done just pissed on him. And they're gonna be sitting at the same table. You think they're gonna believe this other guy doing anything? They not, man. I can't believe that they're gonna sit down and try to do anything. And Japan, they got that woman as the prime minister now and everything. She had already canceled her shit, but he keep telling her, yeah, Japan investing $600 billion in our country, and she was canceling that stuff. Said we ain't donating shit. We ain't putting shit in y'all country. So
Man,
I don't know how.
I'm hearing all these horror stories with these farmers, man. It's horrible, bro. I don't know. You know, America is a very strong country, you know, as far as certain things. But I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna do all this. How we're gonna get through this. I really don't. Because this man, you know, something got to break. I don't know what's gonna break. But I think that you know, he's showing power. You know, sending that carry over there and Central America, North, South America.
He done put some more ships over there. They got a carrier going on there. They also got another a battleship is going over there. Plus, they got some Air Force stuff going on over there. And he
You know,
told them that he might be invading that damn country. And they asked him, "Can you do that?" He said, "I can do anything I want to do. You ain't got to ask Congress for shit." And guess what? Congress ain't even said nothing. After he said it, Congress didn't say a word. Didn't open their mouth. Lindsey Graham, none of them fuckers didn't open their mouth and said, "You can, no, you can't." He said, "I can do anything I want to do," and that's what he's doing. Anything he wants to do, and they're allowing him to do it unchecked.
I know they just put a big tariffs on Colombia. And you know, it's two things that Colombia do. One of them is coffee.
Yep.
And you know, black folk, well, everybody love their coffee,
Yeah,
right?
man, shoot, them white folks love their Starbucks more than anybody do. Shoot, they'll pay $7 for a goddamn latte in a minute.
So look for the coffee to go back up. It's already been going up anyway.
You're going up. I just bought I just bought me 3 bags of coffee and stuff, man, because we go through a bag a month, man, of coffee. We got our beans and stuff. We ground them up, put them in the percolator, have our coffee.
Well, you know, basically in the morning, you know, that's all. You know, I don't know about everybody else, but you know, I very seldom eat breakfast. I might have maybe 2 or 3 breakfasts. I might go out for breakfast, or I might, you know, cook myself some bacon and eggs, and once or twice a week. But that's it. Rest time is just coffee.
Yep, that's all we have is coffee most of the time in the morning. I don't eat anything, man, until about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Really?
Yep, and sometimes I can go longer than that. I run in there, and if I get hungry, I go and have me a piece of cheese, and that's it. That's it, and I'm happy. So we got to take care of ourselves. But anyway, getting back to our folks here, he's supposed to be over there until what, Wednesday or Thursday, I think, right?
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, he got 3 or 4 days he's supposed to be over there. Wednesday, I think he comes back either Wednesday or Thursday. But they got I think on that last day on Wednesday and stuff, they all going to meet there in South Korea, and all a bunch of those southeastern Asian countries going to be there. Uh, Even China's supposed to be in there. He's going to send a representative from China. Uh, a bunch of them gonna be there. Also, a whole bunch of them will be there for their final day. What they're gonna do there, I have no idea. And why they invited him, I have no idea. Cause I'm looking for him to piss on them again, just like he did in the UN. Y'all ain't shit. In their face, tell them y'all ain't shit. He better make very, very nice with South Korea, man, because South Korea got a chokehold on him right now. And they got a lot of investments and stuff here. They got that plant over in Georgia. They got that big ass chip manufacturing plant there in Arizona. They got a lot of money that they invest already into this country.
They
And
got dealers. They got auto manufacturing here, don't they?
you Hyundai and Kia.
Yeah.
They have a Kia plant down here also. But the Kia plant's going. The Hyundai plant's still going, but they're trying to build a battery plant and stuff there in Georgia and to provide batteries and stuff for their electric cars here in the United States. So they've already got, like I said, they've already got an investment and stuff here and everything. So you would think that he would want to play nice and stuff with them and everything, so they can continue to invest in the country and stuff and everything, and at least keep their our people here working. But he don't give a crap. He just an ignorant son of a gun, and we got to put up with him. We got to put up with him. So I don't know what else is going on, man. It's been I've been doing a lot of work today, people. I've been doing a lot of work. Got some projects going on that I'm working on.
Yeah, it's not
And
a
I,
whole lot going on today.
yeah.
In the news, I was reading some of the articles and what have you. They all saying the same thing. The trip and all of this mess, and the big story, of course, Letitia James, and the way they're treating her. But it's
Oh, something else happened today or yesterday. Hakeem finally endorsed Mandami to
yeah,
be the mayor of New York. He finally endorsed him and stuff yesterday. And he was bragging about sending troops to San Francisco, but I guess some of them billionaires over there in Silicon Valley and still called him up and say, "Hey, man, hey, don't do that." And so he done backed off of that now. He ain't sending nobody. He ain't not sending any troops to San Francisco. That's out. But they got all kind of stories and stuff to with these people and stuff and everything in California and Illinois and then Chicago. How these ICE agents and stuff are treating people. There's in California and stuff. I think yesterday that there was a preacher or a reverend and stuff and everything that was standing in front of the ICE vehicle and everything. The guy got out and shot him in the face
yeah,
with a pistol there with a gun and messed him all up and everything. So he and then I guess they was the ICE people and stuff ran over some lady's foot that was standing in front of the car and everything, and he just ran over her foot, and so I guess she probably be having surgery or something. And then in Illinois, Governor Pritzker uh, had did something and stuff. I don't know how we're gonna take this, Ted. I really don't. I'm trying to figure out. At first, when he said it and when he started doing, I said, "Well, he ain't doing shit. We need to do something and stuff a lot stronger than this." But after I thought about it and everything, those people and stuff and everything who was there in Chicago and doing stuff in Chicago, they need to be very, very afraid because whenever this son of a gun gets out of office and stuff and everything, they planning on bringing indictments against all those police officers, ICE agents, and everybody who
yeah. Well, he
did
getting
something to
records.
those
He
people.
getting videos and
He
records of
getting
people
video.
and
He getting video.
all that.
He set up a commission to do video recording and have a permanent record of all this crap that they doing. If those ICE people do not understand what the heck is going on, they better. If I'm sitting there with them and stuff, and I'm one of them ICE agents running around, I'm gonna be telling my friends, "Hey, pal, this shit is not going to be lasting forever. Donald Trump is not going to be in office forever. Eventually this shit gonna come up there and bite us in our butt, and they are going to start prosecuting us for what we done. So we need to watch out for what we're doing and do our job. And
Do it properly.
right, because he says he documenting everything. He got a commission going on. He done brought in two judges and a bunch of other attorneys and stuff and everything and stuff, and they got a commission going on, and they asking people to call in and send videos and stuff in of everything that's going on, and they are going to keep all of that stuff and have it categorized and everything. So when the time comes and they need video evidence or documentary evidence about what happened, they got it. I thought it was kind of odd that he had done that,
Yeah,
and
I heard
after I
him.
thought about
I
it,
heard the
yeah,
speech, and I thought it was because he can only do what he can do.
yep,
You know, the only thing
and
the other thing that he could do is just tell the police officers to keep him at bay, but you can't do that.
well, they've got one governor and stuff that told his folks and police officers and stuff, say they do anything, arrest them. You have my permission to arrest any ICE agent that is committing a crime. Arrest them. I don't care what happens with the federal government. So we'll see what happens with that.
Well, did
uh,
you hear about one of these multi-billionaires? And we did a story on his bank, and I did a little historical story of his bank. It's an old bank, and I can't even think of the name of the bank, but it's up there in the Midwest, and it's been around for a long, long time, for a couple hundred years, I guess, at least 150. And this guy's a millionaire, and he sent $130 million to the Pentagon.
right, to pay these troops. But they saying that they got what 1.3 million military people, so they don't have any idea how that $130 million is going to be divided up amongst the 1.3 million of those folks who need to get
Well, they
paid.
got all kind of food banks and everything else, and all kind of charities and stuff. He could give that there. He just wanted the grandstand. I think.
Absolutely, but they still won't. Even though they got food banks, they'd rather be paid than to go to a food bank because
Of course.
a lot of those soldiers and stuff understand that their parents and their friends and stuff and everything who don't have jobs or whatever and everything, they need those food banks and stuff a heck of a lot better than more than what they do. So they don't want to take the food out of their family's mouth. So it's a decent offer and everything, but hey, I don't know. So, have you got a list of those folks, Mr. Harvey, that's giving Donald Trump that money so he can build him his little ballroom,
Ooh,
the Trump ballroom, the new Trump
that's a
ballroom?
that's a good question because it was a whole lot of people at his little party because he was
Yeah,
doing $1 million plate
yeah,
deal.
he said that they're gonna have donations above I guess above and beyond that 2 million that he first said. He said that they got people to contribute the rest of that money. So we'll see what the heck happens. At
Well, the
least he
price
put it
now
in.
went up to 250 or 300 million now.
He hit 300 million the other day. Yesterday he hit 300 million.
But here's the regular thing about the whole thing is that particular part of the White House is very historical,
Yep, very
and
historical.
it's a lot of sentimental stuff that gone into that. And whether they kept it as archives or not, I don't know.
They took it
However,
out.
that whole building is, you know, people will buy. Now I'm just saying this is what they speculate. People will buy parts of that building for keepsake. Now I don't know if they saved some of that, but what I saw on, and a lot of people might have saw this, that they dumped it on a golf course. They dumping all this waste material in the golf course, and they're just gonna build a hill over it. So this is tacky, man. This is really tacky because he didn't have any commission or nobody to guide him. Different people, proper engineers and proper commission people, proper people that deal with designs, and he just throwing up stuff and throwing up the building in his own way and doing it by himself because he claimed I'm paying for it. Government ain't paying for nothing, so he just
Yes,
gonna
they
go do
are.
what he
They
want to do.
paying. They paid that first 200 million. It came out of the government's pocketbook. It didn't come out of his pocketbook. That first 200 million came out of our pocketbook. So the graph goes on, Harvey. Our president's oldest boy is a major shareholder in a drone company, and he has a military contract to provide drones for the military.
Now,
Big,
who is this
huge,
one? Which one is this one?
the oldest boy.
Oh, that's where you been hiding. I know I ain't been
Yeah,
missing.
yeah, Donald Trump Jr. He's a major stockholder in this drone company, and he happened to get a no bid contract for drones for the military.
Woo-wee. Boy,
Yeah,
they know how to. They know how to. Boy, they know
Yeah,
the grip, don't they?
the graph goes on.
These people, man, they are confident.
They are. They're carpetbaggers. All of them. They're carpetbaggers. Now they
They
done
went
brought
through all
their
that crap about Joe Biden's son, and they
yeah.
sitting up
They
here
said
doing this stuff open,
they said what Joe
wide
Biden's
open.
son did ain't don't even hold a candle to what they doing. And we ain't heard nobody in the Congress say any damn thing about it. But they beat the shit out of Joe's son, buddy, for years. These folks is ripping the
Ex-
country off, and they ain't saying a word.
Exposed a man having sex with another woman, all on TV. Exposed, hey, enlarge the picture, and you know who did that? That green woman.
Marjorie Taylor, huh?
Yeah,
Well, oh, where did she find that at? So
I
somebody
don't
sent
know
it
where
to her?
she found it at, but she found he was nude having sex with another woman, bro,
Who
and she
was?
put it up there. Now, why she did that, I don't know, but she claimed that this drug, he drug, he was using drugs, and at the same time, at that time, so disgrace, bro. It was disgraceful. That was a big story for about a week.
Aha. Well, I guess she's not gonna be in the good graces of old DJT here in just a little bit. He's gonna start saying something about her too in just a little bit, putting her on his dirty shit list here. Find out some bad stuff with her and everything. Have her folks and stuff arrest her also for a crime because she
Well,
is
I believe it until I see it. I think this right here is they placating us. I think that's what they doing. They conning us. I think because she always mentioned, well, it's not the president. It's that the Speaker of the House. It's those Democrats. It's not the president.
well, her and the speaker ain't getting along very well because they showed a picture of her and him, a video of her cussing him out. And old Johnson sitting there, he took it. Calm down, Marjorie. Fuck you.
Man, I wouldn't. That dude. I guess he has convinced himself that he's doing the right thing. He convinced this clean bill is the way to go. When he's seeing his constituents, they say he got over 300, 400,000 people that's going to lose their insurance
Yep, sixty
over
percent
there
of
in Louisiana.
60% of the people in his district are on Medicaid. 60%, more than any other district in the country. 60% on Medicaid. If they don't fire him from his job, something wrong with him.
Well, that's probably the people that vote Republican no matter what.
Yep, there are some out there. They don't care what the heck, they're gonna vote Republican. But maybe there'll be enough of them and everything to get him out of office. They have somebody run against him, and they get enough votes from the disgruntled folks to get him out. I don't know. We'll see. I don't. He doesn't seem like he's afraid of losing his job because anybody else and stuff too probably would have been really afraid and stuff of coming out and saying stuff like that,
I don't
knowing
think
that.
he even care now because, he's the Speaker of the House. That means he's going to get an extra, probably 50, 25, $50,000 extra a year for retirement, So I don't think he really cares. He's set for life. So if he loses his speakership, he good to go, bro. Look at all the speakers that's retired already,
Old
and they
Boehner,
looking
he's out.
good.
Old
Huh?
Boehner out there. Old Boehner is out there. John
Living
Boehner is out
good,
there.
bro. Living good.
Yeah, yeah, but he invested his money into one of those dope companies, the marijuana companies.
Yeah.
He got his
Well,
money
he's
in
a
the mar-
smoker.
he got his money in marijuana. But them drug
And then the other
conspiracy.
guy, I can't think of his name, from Wisconsin.
Tim Ryan.
Tim Ryan is living good. And I'm sure his wife is still working for the government. So he's living good.
You haven't heard a lot about Tim or John Boehner
He was
at
on,
all.
about a month ago, he had a little something to say.
Yeah. Yeah, but you hearing something about a girlfriend there? She got some stuff going on. She was the one that spoke out that I was telling you about. That you told the police officers and stuff there in San Francisco if they come there, arrest their asses.
Oh, yeah.
She was the one that said that. You have my approval to arrest them. So, Ted, we got elections coming up here in just a couple of weeks here. We got that one in California with their Prop 50. We got
You think they're gonna let that Muslim win?
oh yeah, he gonna win. Now, Diamond don't want. They already said he don't want. So that Kumi or whatever his name is, he ain't got a chance. He ain't got a snowball chance in hell of winning that. He
And
ain't
just
got a
think that
snowball
guy
chance.
wanted to be president. And and
He,
I remember when we had that pandemic and um, his brother was on CNN and allowed that guy while he was governor to be on TV for 2 hours, bro,
yeah,
at a time.
yeah.
And I say, what in the world are they doing? He trying to get his popularity, and he talking about all these numbers and make like he was doing something that was really whatever. Obviously, he didn't do too well because they had some serious problems in those elderly homes. A lot of people died.
Well, that scandal he had about those women really hurt him as governor. Those women coming forth and everything on him that really hurt him real bad. And he has never came back from all that, even though he's tried. And some people have forgiven him and stuff for it, but he hasn't been forgiven enough. He's that thing that scandal he had when he was in the governor's office. That's he
You
can't
trying to
wipe that off.
tell me a man is as well off as I guess he's well off. He got to be well off. He making a nice little check as the governor for years. You would think that he would get a nice little girlfriend to keep by his side, even though he's not married. That's ridiculous. Unless he thought he was a player. Maybe he was a player, bro.
Well, don't forget there was another Democratic governor who lost his job about 20 years ago and stuff because of the same stuff going on. You
Oh
remember
yeah.
him? Yeah, you remember him? He was a pistol man. They was scared of him like all get out. He had now you talking about somebody who had hopes for the White House. That was him. And he lost that man like that, man, within 6 months and stuff, man. They broke him down from all that scandal he had.
He only had one little side piece.
Hey, whatever it was, they broke him down. I mean, he lost his all of his glow and stuff and everything real quick. He was turning so fast, it's a crying shame. I guess because he was such a man, he was very, very aggressive. You think Letitia James was aggressive? He was aggressive.
Oh yeah.
That son of God, they were scared of him.
He knew his
All
stuff.
them politicians were scared of him.
Well,
So,
there's a lot of people from New York that had some key positions like Letitia, and some other district attorneys and people at high office there in New York. But for some reason, they just have not panned out. You know, and this right here might catapult her to be the next governor if she wins this case.
who will?
I think there's a possibility that she might run for governor, bro.
Who?
Letitia game, girl Letitia.
Oh no, she's not gonna run against girlfriend unless girlfriend is term limited.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She's gonna be term limited
She's been term limited. Oh yeah, well she might have a chance of doing that then. Yeah, especially if
because
she wins this
this is her
daggone case.
second term right now.
Yeah, especially if Letitia wins this case. She got a good chance of being governor. If she wins this case and it gets thrown out and everything, and Trump can't bother anymore, she got a damn good run for it.
What is going on with Bloomberg?
Michael,
Yeah.
he's quietly, Ted, got some things going on, and he hasn't opened his mouth about it, but he is putting his money and stuff into these foundations and stuff out there and everything that is going to have a big impact and stuff on these elections and stuff from now on. I read about it just a little bit about it and everything about what he was doing, but he has gotten his money into he's paying some organizations and foundations and stuff and everything who's dealing in voter protection and voting rights and stuff there in this country, and that's where his money is going. And he quietly doing this. He ain't making no big thing about it. He's just quietly sitting around doing that. And matter of fact, he's giving up a lot of money to these organizations.
Well, think about this though, Ed. You got people giving away $100 million a pop, and
Hmm.
I mean, we ain't talking about one or two people. We talking about a bunch of people giving away lots of money
Lots of money.
to these politicians and these causes.
Yep.
And American people, we just had the No Kings Day, had almost they say 7 to 10 million people. And, this country we're doing a paradigm shift because when you think about it, you have the white supremacy Christian right, then you have your extremists, and then you had your moderate Republicans and those people that are independent. Then you look at your regular Democrats and then your extremists. So the thing is, this country, man. The thing is, what I don't know. A lot. You hear a lot. I hear a lot of on YouTube, not on YouTube, but on C-SPAN, that a lot of these people calling in. Why can't we get along? How come we can't work things out? And I'm gonna tell you, people, why we can't. In my opinion, like my wife say, everybody got an opinion because everybody got just like an asshole.
You're like an asshole.
Everybody got an asshole. So the point is, this is my opinion. It's the money, people. The money is too good. That's why these people protest on both sides. That's why
Hmm.
these people do all kinds of things. The money is too good.
Hmm.
And then the people that give the money, a lot of they got billions of dollars. They can write all that off. And at the same time, they making deals to make more money.
We have a prime example out there, a prime example, and we talked about this the other day. Mackenzie Bezos, and she got a divorce now from that old boy. She only got married to him for 2 years, and she done divorced her. I don't know who he is, but he divorced her. Anyway, she has made a decision to give away all of her fortune in her lifetime. She's giving away billions of dollars every year, and she keeps making more. She ain't lost none of her wealth yet. Every year, all the money she gives away, billions of dollars, it's right back in her coffers. She keeps giving away, giving away, and she's making more money. She got investments out there and stuff. She still owns stock in Amazon, and they're paying her big time every year. All the money that she gives away, plus her living stuff and whatever she's doing out there on her own, she can't give that money away. She's just as rich as she was the day she divorced that man, or richer. That is unbelievable, Ted. I think that is unbelievable. You can't give away enough money.
She
When
looking
you
where
in that,
she can put that money. Well, I'm gonna put it like this. I don't know who will be listening to this channel. They might run through this channel. I'm gonna tell you right now. You give me $1 billion, I can do a lot of good. No strings attached though. Can't have no strings. Give me $1 billion. But the thing is, I don't have no business set up. I don't have no 5031 where you can write it off. It's just something that $1 billion you just have to give me. But then I got to pay a bunch of taxes on it. Then if $1 billion, man, that's a lot of money. That's
Ted,
100 million dollars.
Ted, the more money you got, the more money you make. You got $1 billion, you're gonna make some money off of that. Look at Oprah. It took her 20 some years to get to that billionaire status. And once she got there, she ain't looked back. She made more money, twice as much money, in less amount of time. Once she made that $1 billion, that was it. Once she crossed that threshold, in less than 3 or 4 years and stuff, she done double her money. She worth what? About 4 billion now.
Yeah. Look at Michael.
Yeah. Once you cross that
Same thing.
threshold, that money starts coming. I don't care what you do. It's coming.
The only person that has not made more money when he became a billionaire real quick and then he lost it, P. Diddy.
And don't forget my boy,
Who?
that crazy son of a gun. The Kardashian's husband, ex-husband.
Oh, oh, he's still worth a billion, 2 billion, 3 billion.
He is. I
He
thought he
was
had
worth
lost a.
at one
I thought
time.
he had
At
lost a
one
bunch
time,
of
he
them.
was worth over $6 billion.
I thought he had lost. I thought he had fell out of that $1 billion category after he had divorced her. I thought she had cleaned him out, cleaned his clock,
Did she
and
get a
then he
lot of his
lost
money?
that. And then he lost that. He lost that big ass contract with Nike. They were paying him a whole bunch of money, and the clothing line, all them clothing and shoes and stuff. He lost all that money. I'm surprised if he's just still in that billionaire category. I'm surprised.
I had to check on that because I'm pretty sure because he was worth
Yeah,
more than 2-3 billion. I
they
know that.
but they took all she cleaned his clock, and then he turned around and lost all of daggone big ass contracts he had for their clothing line, for those daggone shoes and everything. Them Croc shoes that he was doing, all of those crazy stuff he was doing. He lost all that. They took that contract from him, cleaned him out. Check it out and see. I don't believe he. I don't believe he. I believe he might. He still probably got a lot of money, but I don't believe he in that billionaire class anymore. Cause his old lady cleaned him out, man. Matter of fact, girlfriend, she worked for a hell of a lot of money, and she just announced, man, that she has a brain aneurysm.
Really?
Yeah, she has a brain aneurysm.
She just passed. I mean, she just finished law school.
Well, she just announced that she has a brain aneurysm. She told people that she has an aneurysm on her brain,
Mm.
and those kids and stuff are getting pretty old now.
Yeah, they up there now.
They up there. They are up there, and they
Well,
dead is.
money is not everything. But I want to talk about Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
You know, and I ain't gonna be long on it. Just 2 minutes. This dude came from nothing, went to Philadelphia. His family was very religious, and the story. You read all kind of stories when you're young. You read about Benjamin Franklin did this, did that, blah 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 blah. Now the stories, the documentary that I saw last night was very interesting. Now whether it was true or not, I have no idea. How they sort of kind of buoy people up and stuff, like he really did a whole lot of scientific stuff. But one thing I did know, and this is true, I believe this is true, that he was an exceptional businessman because he was a newspaper man, and one of the main things that he made his money off of was doing almanacs, and I used to buy them things all the time and
Mm-hmm.
read them. Now, of course, he hadn't been writing them, but this is the thing that they did. It was an ongoing thing. And so he retired at 42, and that's when he became, after he retired, he did a couple other things. People invited him to do things. Now, he wasn't educated, Ed. He didn't get no, I don't even think he finished high school, but he was self taught. And he ended up being the first postmaster general. And he was a consultant to a lot of the presidents. So, and I think he was at one time he was an ambassador to France, wasn't he? So,
Mm-hmm.
so the point is that this man lived a good life as far as things that he did. But now the reason why I brought this up is that he was a slave owner.
Mm-hmm. There are very few folks and stuff, Ted, back in those days who were not. If they were up there in that elite class, in the aristocratic class and stuff and everything, had slaves. All those aristocrats had slaves. Had somebody in their household who took care of them.
This
Every
is
last
how
one of them.
you
Even in
make
the
it,
North.
bro. I was just thinking about that, Ed. All the little things we have to have done to do things that we want to get done. You have to have people, assistants. You got to have servants. You got to have this. You got to have that. And he had about, they say he had a half a dozen or more.
Mm-hmm.
And so now he had all these people. He had to worry about his wife cleaning his clothes and all of that.
No
They
cooking. No get out of the
cooking,
get out of the bed and stuff and everything,
all
and he
yard
make
work, all
everything
that,
made up for
fixing
him.
the house up,
He ain't got to go in there and
free
mop no
labor, free
floors.
labor. So now you
And,
got
and
all
and
this
then and
time.
then he walks outside. He got a driver. He take care of his
Yeah, he
horses
got
and
a
cart.
driver
Yeah,
and his little carriage. So so the
take
thing
care of the
is
lawn.
that don't make you a great man, and in my opinion. You just took advantage of that and you say, well, what else can I do to help society? That's what his whole attitude was. What else can I do? Because I retired at 42, and all my businesses, I had 4 or 5 businesses. So now what else can I do to help this country? So that's the deal. So when you got a hand up and you bought slaves, because he had to buy those slaves because
Hmm.
they weren't given to him. He didn't.
Right,
They weren't handed down to him by his
right,
parents.
right.
So he had to buy those slaves. He's probably bought them somewhere in Philadelphia. He went to New York on Wall
Right,
Street and bought them.
right. On New York Stock Exchange, went over there and said,
Yeah.
"Hey, I need about 4 or 5 of them.
See,
Send them
they
on
ain't
over
telling
here, and
that
I pay
story.
for
Yeah.
them. Bring
So
them over
all
here."
the help that
But
he got with those slaves, that free labor,
right,
and then where's their story at? And their family's family.
that was the cost and stuff, Ted. Or because most of them probably felt that just by being there with him was a status symbol. I'm a slave for Benjamin Franklin. That's my master. He don't. He
Well,
doesn't.
and then
He
on top of
doesn't
that,
beat
they
me.
learn some
He
skills
doesn't. He
too.
doesn't beat me. I have food every day. I got a roof over my head every day, and they were okay about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if they was okay about it, but that was the best they
Well,
could do at
it
the
was
time.
it was probably a lot better than some of their friends or their parents or whatever where they came from, where they were down there working in the fields and stuff 24/7. So they probably figured, that, hey, because we know it was always the status symbol and stuff when doing slavery times and stuff to be the house nigga, be the house
And a
nigga.
lot of those people probably worked in his businesses and, did cleanup, and some of them even did some more than labor work. They probably did some clerical work too.
Absolutely. And they walked around, nice clean clothes on, nice shoes on their feet and everything.
And then somebody will see him and say, "Boy, where you going?" "Oh, I'm running an errand from my master, Mr.
My
Franklin."
master, Mr. Franklin, sent me over here to do this. What you doing riding around that old nice carriage and stuff and everything, but them fine horses and stuff around there? I'm driving this for my master, Benjamin Franklin. And he probably got papers. See there? That's my master.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ted,
But what
if
I'm
I throw
saying,
that analogy out there.
and wait a
That
minute,
is, but
idiot.
that is
Look at this like this. Those founding fathers, they were able to buy land and all of that. And who knows, he might have had more than a half a dozen. He might have bought land to and maybe did his own little field. He might have did tobacco. We don't know. They ain't
George
telling the whole
Washington.
story.
George Washington had his slaves.
300 of them.
Yeah, he had his slaves to take care of them.
300
He
of them.
was, yes, sir. He had his folks
So that's
down there
that's that's why they didn't have to worry about nothing at home.
and
They
nothing.
was all taken care of. Their kids was taken care of.
Yep.
They was sucking on Bertha's tit and everything else.
People, you
Woo,
all
boy.
listen to our show here and everything. I know this sarcasm, but it's true. This thing is absolutely true that it happened back in those days and stuff and everything. Because think about it. This did happen that they did. And some of those folks and stuff who grew up and had they slave masters woman, mammy, and she fed them off of her tit.
That's right.
You white folk, these white children, that's how they got their meals off of. They mama didn't pull their tit out and everything. She gave them to mammy. You raise them, you take care of them, and they were raised by their mammy. She made sure that she suckled them all the time. And how they got her to create milk and everything and stuff for them, I don't know. It must have been something that they did to get her to
Well,
create milk.
she probably was taking care of her own baby. So therefore, her milk was plentiful.
But you usually have to have your body doesn't. If a woman gives birth, then her body starts producing milk. It starts let milk come out. So she hadn't produced any child. So how the hell can they get milk out of there?
But what I'm saying is that it was an ongoing thing. If she just had a baby back then, they was inbreeding because in the early 1800s they stopped bringing slaves over, and so a lot of these people was inbreeding, and so therefore and they kept them, and they was making slaves out of their children. And so she probably, maybe a lot of these people that were doing that, they were having babies. And so therefore, it's an ongoing thing. So, once, a woman is fertile and her breast is full, she got enough for a bunch of babies. I'm just saying that's one of the things. And then the men, what were they doing? They had to fix the horses. That's why those characters, they were they bought and they probably built those characters for that, some of the best wood and the best wheels and all of that. And they made sure that those characters ran perfectly. They took care of the horses, and so when they got into their little clothes after Mary ironed his nice little crisp shirt, because we invented the ironing board.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, we had a lot of those things was invented because of creature. You wanted convenience. Say, Dig, I can't keep ironing this thing on this bed, or I can't keep ironing this thing on this table, and they went on and invented the ironing board.
And
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 on
it
and
may
on.
and it may be the word blacksmith came out of the fact that the black people and everything were the smiths
There
and
you go.
everything who created. They were the
There you
blacksmiths.
go.
That's how they
Because
got that word.
if you look at the history, a lot of the black men were experts blacksmiths. That's one of their chores. Some of if you look at some of these people, they were ministers, blacksmiths, they were carpenters, all of that. They had like 10, 15 jobs.
Well, people, y'all got this story from us. You, we're going. We just went back in time, people, to how life was in the 1700s. Oh
Yeah,
man, this is too much.
that's how they treated us.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what we went
And it was
on.
a
We
little
got
better it was a little better in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania. But in the South, it was a lot worse, obviously. But
right,
that's where they was, they fighting for freedom and all that kind of stuff.
and they were being lynched, and they were being mistreated, untold amounts of mistreatment and stuff done. But these things are all true, and maybe and stuff at one time or another, they folks and stuff down there that they were the ones who were involved in the Underground Railroad. That's how
Well,
slaves came from the
one of the
South
things
into
in
the
the
North.
documentary, one of the things in the documentary was the Quakers. The Quakers were,
Right,
they were abolitionists. They didn't believe
right.
in that, and he had conflicts with the Quakers, because he owned slaves.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was shunned. He was shunned a lot because of that. But then you had other founding fathers that had slaves too, just like we just mentioned George Washington. But the reason why they had so much time to go travel back and forth to D.C. Well, at the time they said that D.C. wasn't even established then. They were going back and forth where they lived to Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Washington had his office at and all that. And then they wanted to rebel for freedom because the British was really in charge of them, and that's when they started rebelling. And they wanted their freedom from the king. That's why they say no more kings.
No King's March, people. Anyway, people, Ted, I know you got your final word then, right, about Ben Franklin. I did not think that when you brought that up that we were going to spend at least 15 minutes and stuff on Ben Franklin and what was going on with him. But that was a good segment and stuff there. I really liked that one. We got a chance to kind of reminisce on what our people did and how they felt and stuff back in those days and what may possibly have happened and how they existed and stuff back then, knowing that you're right. A lot of those folks, the aristocrats, had slaves. Even up in the north, had slaves. They had them and
Yep.
stuff because they made their lives and stuff easier. They didn't have to do anything. They were baroness and princes and princes and all that other stuff and everything because they just became emancipated and stuff from the British colony, but they did not leave a lot of those customs and stuff that the British and stuff gave them, as far as having masters and having people who were their servants.
Servant, yeah.
Their servants became slaves and stuff. And the difference, I guess, is that they didn't have to pay them, but they had to pay a servant. But once you bought you a slave, you didn't have to pay them anymore. They
Yep.
was you owned them, just like we talk about the slaves and stuff and everything were traded on the New York Stock Exchange. You bought them; they were like a piece of stock, or
And
a
you know the
bond.
sad part about it, Ed, the sad part about it, the really sad part about it, I look at a lot of these older movies, that show, 1700s, early 1800s. And in the movies, they don't show, a lot of these movies, they don't show black servants.
No, they don't.
They don't show a lot of black servants.
Mm-mm.
And probably the reason why is because a lot of black folks don't want to play them parts no more. Being a
Now
slave.
they don't. Now they don't. But it happened. But when we looking at movies and stuff, too, I think what happens is that those writers and stuff and everything, they cut out some important parts and stuff of the movie that the original writer probably wrote into the script,
Yeah.
but they cut that stuff out
And
because they did
and
not.
do you think for 1 minute that they thought a lot of these things themselves? I can almost guarantee you there were more intellectual, talented black people, male and female, that was assisting them in some of the things that they did. You say, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't think of it like that, Joe." You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, we ain't getting the whole story, bro.
Yeah, we're not getting the whole story, but
Because I
nobody
know when we
coming up
came
for.
up, they made Franklin like he was a superstar, bro. He's the one that invented electricity and all that stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Founding fathers, George Washington, blah blah blah.
All right.
And I can see why these young people want to tear a lot of these statues down because they were hypocrites. Because they started reading about, the history of these people and how they treated black people, and
and
they got upset because they wasn't nothing but
and
a bunch of hypocrites.
and in any of your movies that you see, especially when we were coming up, those cowboy movies and stuff, all all the cowboys always won, the Indians always lost.
Yeah.
Any battle you had, the Indians always had to lose in the movies. They had to lose. They had to beat those Indians down, knowing
Wait a
that.
minute. Wait a minute. I gotta correct you
Uh,
because let me tell you, the word cowboy that was confiscated by white folk because we black men were
were
called
the first original
cowboys.
cowboys. Black folks were the original cowboys. I understand. I knew. You didn't have to say that. Black folks were the original cowboys. They weren't white folks. They were black folks. Oh yeah. Oh yes, sir. Anyway, people, we at the end of our show here. We will see you guys tomorrow. And I had a good time today, folks, and everything. We need to have these discussions all the time. Talk about what has happened in our past. And it may not be all good, but at least it happened. Anyway, bye bye.